afterwards, I've committed myself to being a teacher. I've taught blind, the deaf. I've taught the thousands of children. I try to teach people through radio, through the internet. And the only thing that I can say is I may not be that pure light, whatever it is, but at least I try to express what I learned to the limits of my ability. I'm not saying I'm there all the time. I'm not Jehovah. I'm not Jesus. I'm not Muhammad. I'm not Buddha. I'm not Krishna. I'm none of that. But I know I'm doing better than I was, where I was a psychopath, egomaniacal, racist, sexist, xenophobic, hate monger. I'm not that. So I'm doing better. I'm hoping that us talking about God being love has changed the world. I think it has. I think there's a lot less people that are willing to hang on to their hateful God. And if we can get rid of people wanting to hang on to that God that's willing to drag us down to teach us a lesson. The thing is that as many people do good, there are some that actually are very powerful, and they're not good. They are there to balance this out. And yeah, they have a purpose, not for the light. The light could do without them. That's the bargain. God created this darkness so that there could be motion. But the best thing is to be where it's a lot better balance. I mean, there's still going to be children born in this new world. There's still going to be, you're going to still eat. It isn't going to be just like hanging around on clouds. There's going to be work to be done. There's going to be cleaning up the earth, first of all. And then the next thing is there's going to be creating new systems that are going to help out to create a better world. And the next thing is, we're going to get to have our fun. We're going to create musical instruments. We're going to dance. We're going to sing. We're going to have there's no more crummy jobs. All jobs will be from a place of our joy. What is it we want to learn in this lifetime? If you want to play sniper games, guess what? There's another world for that. Imagine if you were to take all your DNA and come out with the best one. You get it. It's going to be like that. Whatever the good qualities of you, the best version of you. And I think personally that I saw somebody that looks a lot like me, a little bit younger version of me, picking up the earth, removing PVC metal from buildings. Looked just like me. I'm not saying it was me, not this me. I mean, I probably die in this one. I mean, I didn't see it. But I probably die in this one. But I saw a me in a world that gets better, where all the buildings get totally taken down to the ground, and all the metal and PVC all gets taken off planet. I saw the darkness, and then I saw the light completely covering the earth. It comes the light finally goes through unshielded. The Demiurge, as you called him, just completely gives up. He says, I lose. Game over. You won. No more. No people are not coming here anymore. But the remnant, there will be a remnant, and the remnant will, people will start coming back. Whenever the earth gets wiped out, and there's all kinds of horrible, awful people who want to kill most of the planet, and they're trying to bring this on. And all I can tell you is that their intentions, even though they have two intentions. Their one intention is because the earth needs to have the population reduced, but the other intention is nefarious. Killing people is not good, and so but they have this dual bipolar mentality that makes them think that what they're doing is good, and when in fact it's the polar opposite. If you're poisoning children so there won't be less children on the earth, shame on you. I'm sorry. There's got to be a better way to do it than poisoning them and killing them. It's going to happen with or without Prince Charles. Okay, I mean, I saw it happen, and I believe it will. From my perception of it, is that we just are done. In other words, kind of like if you read the Jesus story, he just goes into heaven, right? But in this lighter version of us, we'll have options to go back. In other words, your turn's over. Just go let somebody else do it. But it's not like dying with a horrible, your heart quitting or your brain locking up or getting an aneurysm or a stroke. It won't be like that. It'll be okay. You go home. The way I saw it was not linear, but I did see it was a good long periods of time. It wasn't just like a few weeks or months. It was thousands of years. Yes, and it goes on for a good amount. But then at the very end, okay, but it'll be real hard to get there because you won't have any mental health issues. Okay, you won't have chemical problems. You won't have addictions. Without chemical problems, addictions, disease. If you don't have disease and no reason to make money because you're not going to go hungry, and the place I saw, the weather's even temperature, even temperatures. They're temperate is what they call it. Imagine Southern California without any bad days, no smog. But all over the world. Won't have any reason to have windows because there won't be any pollution to blow through there. I mean, you can work up some jealousy, but it'd be real hard to do. Whenever you could say, well, I'm jealous of this person. Well, after they're done with the person they're with, after 100 years, maybe y'all can hook up or whatever. But it's gonna be. But there's not going to be any sickness or mental health problems that cause it. If you get jealous, they're just going to take you out. As you're done. It's going to be more transparent. The thoughts, it's kind of like in heaven, kind of like that. Okay, but it isn't completely telepathic in that if you don't want somebody to read your thoughts, they're not going to read them, and you get taken out. I believe that there is a chance. But if you mess up during that time, you're not going to die. I mean, most people. Well, first of all, you have to prove in yourself, okay, to get there. Okay, I've worked on these things. I've been working on them. Or I did it once and did it right. But the point is that, you're going to have proven yourself, and then you'll get to remember. You know what I mean? It won't be like this time where we forget everything each time we come. You'll remember your lesson. Well, it's kind of like spiritual muscle memory. I think that we gain some, but then depending on what we do, right out of the box, we start crying for our mom's tit, and then we get jealous whenever she doesn't give it to us, and so right out of the bat, we're already creating that separation, and then the mom gets tired of the child's crying, and puts them out of the room, closes the door, I mean, there's so much that we think that we can work our way through, but we're not living inside of that little baby. I think it's too hard. It disgusts me, the wars that we're in. I mean, I know that my own country is bombing women, children, that didn't mean us harm. In fact, they like us. Some of them that we're killing. Wow. You're just bombing somebody that was waiting for you to save them, and yet you bombed them. How's that good? Demiurge showed me. Okay? He said, look, I failed. He's showing me his failure. He showed me his failure. Okay? I failed. The world became completely dark. People are running around in chaos. There's a remnant of people who are being loving and kind anyway, who are laughing and joyful anyway. There are these little points of light in absolute darkness. There's no electricity, but people will give off their light, okay? And so you think, that's like I saw in heaven, right? I saw those orbs of light. But that's going to happen on earth. But then imagine that the earth becomes completely filled with light. And people are like that. They're like those little orbs in an earth that's already completely done its course. everyone has learned their lessons. They're finished. They figured out how to be the best musician, the best singer, the best piano maker, the best whatever they want to do, and they're finished. They've found their true love, But you get to work on whatever it is you want to work on. I mean, if you're an artist, do your art, whatever that art is, and I think it's going to be a beautiful moment of time.